Hello and welcome to New Earth Lifestyles. I'm Janee King, your host of the show. Thank you for joining me today, April 2014, in Manchester, New Hampshire. Thank you for joining me. And I have my singing bowl with me today. And because it's spring and new beginnings, sort of, the earth is blooming, the snow is melting, the sun is shining, and Manchester downtown is full of people walking everywhere. So people are out and about and enjoying this beautiful spring day, April 10th, 2014. And so on that note, I was planning on looking at or talking about or exploring today the energy of the earth. The show's name is New Earth Lifestyles, and we've been pretty much dwelling on lifestyles and things people can do, things you can do to help yourself with your lifestyle, help yourself to come back into balance, or to heal, or to have more pleasure in your life. And so today I thought we would focus more on the planet Earth, this earth that we live in or on or with. On that, I'm going to gong my sacred singing bowl and help myself to ground and relax and breathe. And the breath is free. The earth gives us this breath freely. The air is always here around us, even though it's becoming a little less and less breathable with the pollution and the denigration of the earth right now that we've done in industrialization of the planet. So the sound of the bowl or the sound of the gong or anything that might make you pay attention during the day is always an opportunity to come home to yourself, come back, bring your attention back to yourself and breathe. And breathe in. When I breathe in, I like to breathe out totally, emptying my lungs, and then put the tongue on the roof of your mouth and breathe in through your nostrils and breathe out through your nostrils. And if you were to breathe and really have appreciation for where that oxygen is coming from, and the fact that I appreciate the fact that living here in New Hampshire, the air is pretty clean most of the time, all year round. There are other places in the United States, and in the world, in fact, where they have pollution, they have smog counts or days when people that have breathing difficulties cannot go outside. Very fortunate that New Hampshire is not like that. I'm very grateful for that, and there are a lot of places on the earth where the air is clean. And so, why not appreciate that? Because we take it for granted, don't we? Or I can sometimes take it for granted. And rather than taking things for granted, we are learning that the more we appreciate and have gratitude for every little thing in our lives, deep gratitude, deep caring, that can open us up, open our heart space, and that in itself, that small thing, can be healing, not only for you, but for the earth. Showing appreciation for the earth is the same as showing appreciation for you, basically, because I believe, and I've come to understand, that the earth is a living, breathing organism. Just like a plant, it is a plant, just like a human being, just like an animal, just like a crystal. If you've ever seen a quartz crystal, it grows, it's alive, it has energy. Everything on the earth is alive. Everything is alive. And so showing some appreciation and some care for the fact that everything is alive and it's here to support humanity. It's here to support all life forms that are here on the planet at this time. So having appreciation creates an energy. It creates a vibration in you that is then felt everywhere on the planet, and actually it echoes out all the way out in the universe. All of us, we're all echoing out into the universe. Just like the proverbial pebble that you throw in a pond and you see the ripples. The pebble plops and the ripples just go and go and go. They get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. That image of the ripple of the pond when you throw a pebble in it is it's a wavelength, and energy, unseen energy, also creates a wavelength. Just my talking creates vibration in the air, and that's how you can hear it. It vibrates. It vibrates into the mic, then it goes through the airwaves so that you can hear it. So everything, we're all connected. We're all on this planet together. Why not begin to care for her first by caring for yourself and appreciating what you have, all the things the earth gives you, such as oxygen, such as water. Right now, the snows are melting, the streams are full, the rivers are full, the lakes are filling up. It's nice to see water running rather than white, ice and snow on top. And water's another thing, the commodity that I'm very grateful for here in New Hampshire, to have clean drinking water for the most part where I live. But there are places where the gas additive that I don't recall the acronym for, but it had caused and has caused some pollution in wells in New Hampshire. So there are places in New Hampshire where the water is at risk. And the more we can take care of our water, the more better quality of life, of course, we will have. So paying attention to these things and paying attention to the fact that because we live on the earth and all beings are living on this planet together, why not make it a point to keep the environment clean, keep the waterways as clean as possible. If you know that someone is dumping things into the waterways that is hazardous, it might be a good idea to bring attention to that somehow through authorities. If you're seeing things that are even dumped on the earth, I know not long ago, that far ago, but when I was younger, when people did an oil change, there was a time when you could do your own oil change, when automobiles were very simple, and you could just jack up the front and crawl underneath and, change the oil. And there was a time when they would actually drain the oil into the earth and just let it run out of your car into the earth. And that is so hazardous. It's a hazardous heavy metal. There are heavy metals in that oil. And it wasn't long ago that was just the norm. And I'm grateful that doesn't happen anymore. But there are other things that happen similar to that people still do. They still drain hazardous waste and hazardous chemicals and leave debris on the earth that the earth has then a difficult time in assimilating and helping her to stay clean. So just pay attention to those types of things, keeping your life as clean as possible, keeping your activities as clean as possible. And that all comes back to the self, doesn't it? Because if you're keeping your body and your mind as clear as possible, that is actually the same thing as keeping the earth clean and clear as possible, because you are a member. You're a member of the society. You're a member of the earth element. So, in thinking about the earth and what I would like to talk about today, I was researching online some of the aspects of the energy of the earth and what that means for me, and how you might be able to have a little more understanding of how we're all connected, and also a little more understanding of the energy field of the earth. Just as we have an aura, an energy field, and I'm actually going to show you a couple pictures of that. The earth has her own energy field and aura. And one thing that I've been practicing lately, along with the breathing that I do, is something called pranic breathing, or clearing the prana. Prana is another word for energy, and we have what's called a pranic tube, which comes down into our crown and runs straight through our body, a tube, and goes out in between your legs and goes out and down into the earth. And if you pay attention to this, to breathing in this certain ways, you will open that pranic tube and then allow, with your intention, the energy to come in and cleanse your body and energize your field, your energy field, your aura. And this whole energy field that we have is really a small. It's a model. It's the same energy field that the Earth has. It's like a small miniature energy field of the Earth, just as it's a miniature energy field of well, not the miniature, but there are miniature energy fields of, say, plants and trees and animals that are smaller energy fields that are the same, very similar configuration. There's something called the Fibonacci sequence, which I'm not going to go into because I don't totally understand it, but it's a number sequence, and it starts, I think, with 1, and you add certain numbers together, and it's a sequence of numbers. And it's actually called the golden mean. And the golden mean is, excuse me, the golden mean is a formula for all the things that are happening on the planet, for all the energy fields, for the creative process that's happening on the Earth plane. And it actually, when they graph out this golden mean, it's a spiral. It's actually a graph of this beautiful spiral. And I don't know if you've ever seen a nautilus. I did bring some shells to show you what a nautilus looks like, or what these aren't nautilus, the actual shell of a nautilus, but these are nautilus shapes. And that's what the Fibonacci sequence, mathematical sequence, graphs out. It graphs out this spiral of life. And it actually ends up being the Earth's energy field and our energy field. Don't ask me how it gets to that, but it does get to that point of being the Earth's energy field. And so let me just gong a little bit right here and breathe. And another thing I do when I breathe is I welcome in my guides to help me. I welcome in my angels to be here with me, to work through me, because I don't have a script. I have some information that I brought. But everything that I'm speaking to you is kind of coming out of me and coming through me from my knowledge, yes, from inside of me, yes, but also from all of my spiritual helpers who are always with me, giving me information, kind of feeding me information. As I've said before many times, I have never thought that I would ever be on camera doing this type of a thing, having a TV show. But it is certainly my spiritual helpers, my guides, that have encouraged me to do this because it is healing for me. And so I just wanted to acknowledge them right now, because a lot of what happens here in the 1 hour that I'm here with you is just divinely guided. It's just coming through. This is the next step. This is the next step. I don't have a plan when I come in here, other than bringing some tools or some things to show you, but I do not have a plan. It's all coming through the ethers, through the energy, through the universal life force that we all are, through my being. It's all just, it's flowing here, and that's my intention, and that's why my singing bowl is good, to keep me aligned to that, to keep me open to receiving. So thank you all for being here with me. I'm very grateful, all of my spiritual helpers. So I'm going to talk about moving forward, the energy field of the Earth. But before we get to the energy field of the Earth, I wanted to show you first the energy field of a human being, or actually not the energy field. This is, well, I'll show you this first and we'll talk about it. This is a human being, and if you look, the energy is flowing from the center of the human being up and out, creating this amazing spiraling effect. If this is a two-dimensional thing, so it's going up and out, and up and out, and back around and back around. And in the center, this this centerpiece here that goes down. This would be, it's not drawn in here. There's not a line for the tube, for the pranic tube, but there is a tube of energy that goes straight down, and creates this whole spiraling thing. So the pranic tube would be in the center of the body here. And the energy is coming up and swirling in such a way that it creates a magnetic field. This is a magnetic field, isn't it? If you were to look at how a magnet works, a metal magnet, this is a magnetic field. This is the basis of your aura, of your energy field, flowing this way. And if you were to, focus on the tube, on the, if you were to focus on the pranic tube, I didn't draw it here, but I'm just following the line of a pranic tube that opens up at the top and it opens up down the bottom. It opens up down here, comes back around. But the pranic tube is just straight. It would be straight up and straight down. When you breathe into it and out of it, you're activating all of this energy. You're activating all of this energy and really cleansing your energy field, cleansing your aura, and moving away from you things that you don't want. When you breathe in the oxygen of the earth and you bring it into this whole configuration of lines of light, of energy moving, of electromagnetic field. So that's the human aura. The next picture I have is two people. Hopefully you can see this. Two people interacting, and their heart field. Actually, you can see that the energy field does not go straight down all the way to their feet, because this is the energy field of their heart, of the heart. And I'm trying to get this a little better. And so this is the heart energy field. These are two people connected. Now look at how those energy fields overlap. I don't know if any of you have ever studied set theory. I have a degree in mathematics, and set theory, you're drawing circles like this and intersecting them and figuring out what goes here and what goes there. And so this plays into that, doesn't it? This is part of how we interact with each other, and what is in the center, what is in the merging of those two electromagnetic heart fields. And we call the actual shape of that, the donut shape of that energy, we call it a tubed torus, or just torus. And the place where they interact, the two toruses or spheres or donuts of energy interact, is where we can perceive the other if we were aligned and had an intention to do so. And so by having an intention to connect with this other person, you can connect with them without touching them. If you can see that, your energy fields are touching and interacting together. And that goes back into your body and back into your being and back into your electromagnetic field, and helps you to perceive and understand other people simply by connecting in with your energy field, connecting in with your heart's energy field in this particular case. And so if you really look at this, you can see it's a donut-shaped moving. And if you can imagine these donuts swirling and moving. So we're looking at a stationary two-dimensional picture, but these energy fields are always moving. They're moving from the center out, and back from the underneath, and they're swirling. If you've ever seen a slinky, when I grew up, we had slinkies. And if you take a slinky and you put one into the other end, that's sort of what like this energy field is about, only it's not just one lines, it's like a screen. And it's not just one-dimensional or three-dimensional. It goes all the way into the body. And so if you look at this, you can see that a lot is happening here. So these people are interacting in their energy, in their heart energy. The next picture I have to offer is it's a breakdown of a shell. I don't know if you can see that, but it's the same spiral, the same spiraling From here, it would be spiraling around, but it's been cut off. It's been cut off so you can look into it. So this is sliced down the middle. And there's another spiral in here. This is the same energy. This is the Fibonacci sequence, as the other one was too, of the energy. But if you look, this is the tube. This would be what the pranic tube would be of the shell when it was alive. And I don't know if you can see this, but it is spiraling. It's really spiraling. And I did bring a larger shell here to show you the same thing. Let me get it so I can show you. So there is the same spiraling action. I don't know if you can see that. And this is the spiral of life, and this is the Fibonacci sequence, and everything, our DNA, our cellular structure, all swirls in the same spiraling manner. And so I wanted to just sort of bring that out to you to, let me go. Talk about the Earth's energy. So get some pictures of what the Earth's energy is about. And there's another picture of the heart. And so this is the Earth in the center. So here we have the Earth. And look, the Earth has a pranic tube. Just same pranic tube that's similar to the pranic tube that runs through our own body. And this is the energy field of the Earth. And it's, again, a tubed torus. It's that donut shape. It's swirling. It's constantly swirling energy. And if you look at this, the Earth is alive, and this is her energy field. And when we do things to the Earth, I'll just put this here for now. I don't know if you can see it. But when we pollute, when we do nuclear testing in the oceans, when we shoot things off through the atmosphere, we're affecting this energy field of the Earth. We're affecting her balance, her homeostasis, just like if we were to do that to our own body. As you can see, the energy fields are the same. They're their own energy field, but we are an integral part of the Earth's energy and the Earth's energy field. And the Earth is really beginning to make changes. As we know, we have what we're calling global warming. And I'm not going to get into that whole political debate around whether the Earth is warming up or not. But the Earth is certainly having more natural disasters, having more earthquakes, more stronger typhoons and hurricanes, and even you can see the drastic weather in the East Coast of more rain or in other parts of the world. So this is the Earth's way of, you could say shaking us off her back, so to speak. This is the Earth's way of bringing herself back into balance. That is so vital for our body and also for the Earth's body. Now, what can we do about that? How can this one life, my one life, affect the whole Earth, the whole global and universal, the solar system? And that's so vast, isn't it? It's so huge. So how can I, as one little cell of the Earth structure, you could call me, I call myself a cell on the Earth because that's kind of like what we are. How can I make a difference? How can I do something for the Earth? And I'm going to say, for me, what I understand and how I've come to understand and believe is the best thing we can do, as well as, along with advocating, if that's your genre of doing something. Advocating is absolutely a great thing to do in whatever way. But if you're not in that mode of getting out there and advocating and belonging to groups that petition or actively get involved with politics, if you're not on that wavelength, the best thing you can do is take care of yourself. Take care of you. Why? Because you are an integral, special, important member and cell, molecule, cell of the earth. The earth needs you. She needs you to live, to be alive. So paying attention to your own physiology, body, paying attention to your own thought processes, your mental attitudes, and paying attention to your spiritual beliefs, your spirituality, your religion, however that is for you, will nurture you and help you to be a stronger member of this earth family. And the earth wants us to do that. The earth wants us to be aware. And right now, as I said once before, many times before, I was an accountant for 25 years, and so I was closed. My mind was closed. I was very shy. I was an introvert. Well, I still am shy and introverted, but I'm kind of getting out of my shell. And I never, ever, ever thought about my body being an integral part of the earth. It's important for the health of the earth. However, if you look at Western society these days, you look at the plethora, the myriad of diseases, you can actually look at them as a mirror of the earth's diseases, a mirror of how we're treating the earth. And when you take care of your body, and take care of your mind, take care of your soul, take care of your belief system, and live your life to the fullest, happiest, best way possible, being kind to one another, living by the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That makes a tremendous, tremendous difference on the energy field, the vibration, that donut of the Earth's energy field. And how can that be? How can one person's energy make a difference on that level? Well, if you think about your body, if you come back to your body, my body, one cell can cause havoc in my body. One cell, can't it? It can mutate, it can grow, it can spread, it can create wars inside of my body, which we could look at as pain. It can create floods. It can create all kinds of natural disasters in my body, in your body. When we come back to balancing our body and balancing ourselves, that has a tremendous effect on the rest of the organism, on the totality of the body, of the totality of the earth. It is true. So I am focusing on the earth today, but also focusing on the synergy, on the connection, on the contact that we have with the earth and how important it is for us to pay attention to ourselves. Pay attention to your emotions, especially your emotions, because stress, which triggers emotions, or emotions which trigger stress, I'm not sure which came first, that is a place that you can begin. And from that, again, we go back to breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Focusing on quieting, finding time every day to become quiet, allowing yourself to take time, whether it's 5 minutes or 50 minutes, take time for yourself, because you are the only one that can do this. No one can do it for you, but that is can be your way of caring for the earth, caring for your mother, the earth. So I'm inviting you to look at that, to look at how or why, or if it even resonates with you, how you could change your lifestyle if you need to. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe you need to continue on the path that you're going, or maybe your path needs to change a little bit. Whatever works for you, whatever works, whatever is best for you would be the correct or good direction to go. And there's really no right or wrong. There's only how to bring your life into alignment with joy and love and happiness and peace and gratitude and the higher vibrations of the energetic spectrum of life. When we are angry, depressed, judgmental, all those emotions that cause stress, right? Those are all stressors. When we do that, when we are always churned up with frustration, say, or jealousy, or something that makes you angry all the time, angry at an ex-spouse, for instance, that's a really big one. That really is debilitating to your body. It can be actually the cause of any discomfort or illness or pain that you may be experiencing anywhere in your body. Relationship with others, and a loving relationship especially that has gone awry and broken off, is very, very hard to live through, but it is a place for you to look at for healing, whether you think it's conscious or not. If you are still angry at an ex-spouse, an ex-wife or ex-husband, or an ex-friend, or anybody that's come into your life, if you have any of those negative emotions toward another in general, those emotions are feeding into your stressors, which can then exacerbate any place in your physiology, in your body, or in your mental body, in your emotions, that is out of balance at all. So why not focus on coming back to yourself, paying attention to who you are, paying attention to what you want in life. What does your heart long to do? What does your heart long for, a want that you don't have at this moment? And maybe there's nothing. Maybe you have what you want. Maybe your life is going perfectly fine right now. And we'll just go do a gong to that one, because that would be lovely, wouldn't it? That would be great if my life were going smooth in the way I wanted it to. Man, that would be great. But life doesn't seem to go that way, does it? For the general public and who we are, for most of us, life doesn't always go smoothly. And so the earth and our connection to her is a way to look at bringing our life back into balance, bringing our life back into the smooth road. Or actually, the road isn't always nice and calm, is it? It's always got ups and downs. But at least it's better than diving and, the manic depressive type of jack down and going up. And I mean, just little ups and downs would be a lot better than these big ones, wouldn't it? So I just went through a kind of a big bump in the road over the weekend, and I call it the dark night of the soul. And it was very difficult to go through, but I'm grateful that I had all this emotion came up, because my head, my thoughts would not shut up and stop thinking about this particular thing, this particular way, this particular life, this particular thing that I thought should be going a different way. And my mind just got in the way constantly, until I got very depressed. I got very down on myself, and I get down on myself when I get depressed. So, and I was able to use some of the tools that I'm showing to you to bring myself up and realize that I am creating my reality, and I'm the only one that can get me out of that. Sure, I could have gone to a doctor and got some drugs, I suppose. for me, that would have been polluting my body. So I chose not to do that. I choose to do things that are clean and clear and natural and from the earth-based things. So I didn't do that, and I used my practices of coming back and owning my stuff, and I just did a lot of different things that I'm not going to really get into right now. But it all comes back to recognizing that you have the power to do this. You have that power. I have that power. We as human beings have that power. Why? Because we have a conscious mind and a logical mind. And when we use it in a positive way to help our own body, which in fact helps the earth, life is good. Life is better. Things get better and better. How can that be? Because that's how it is. But life does go in these waves, and sometimes there'll be a deep trough, which is what I experienced over the weekend. And other times it's just a nice, easy wave up and down, but the storms come in and the storms go out. So finding tools to help you with your stress, help you with your flow of energy, help you to feel and understand, like that energy field of the two people that were together, help you to maybe feel, is this my energy or is this someone else's energy? Is this me doing this or is this someone else doing this? But we won't go there. But anyway, so the more you pay attention to yourself and learn about yourself, I really believe that that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn about who we are, who I am, who am I? Who am I and what am I here for? Right? Those are the big proverbial big questions that we're all asking all the time. And what if we slow down, breathe, and be quiet with ourselves? Another point is, what if we breathe, slow down, and be quiet with the earth? What if we go for a walk on the earth and simply be present, be there with the earth? Listen to the birds, listen to the wind, feel the sun or feel the rain, and feel your feet on the ground, the soil of the earth, the old, what do you call it? The stuff that makes soil, the leaves, decaying leaves in the forest. On the ground, not on the pavement, not on the gravel of your driveway, but on the ground, on the earth, on some grass. And what if you were to just be there with the earth, or walk quietly along in the earth? I had an experience this morning. I finally could walk out into the woods without going through 2 feet of snow. And I took a walk over the weekend, and I was going through 3 feet of snow, actually, through the snowfields, and thank goodness. You see, that was Sunday, and today's Thursday, so in these 4 days, thank goodness that the snow is going away, and I could walk out there on top of some of the snowfields and not sink in up to my knees. So I went out for a walk this morning, and out into the woods, and I didn't go far into the woods. So I walk out into a pasture that's mowed, and then I just go into the woods, and where I went in, there's no trail, and I like to get off trail and just be in the rawness of the woods without being on a trodden path. And so I went into the woods, and actually last weekend I had done the same path, but I was sinking into the snow really deeply, and there were bear tracks. They were huge bear, like this big bear track, or actually the size of my foot. And I knew it was bear because I could see the 5 claws. And it was because the snow is melting, it's very granular and soft. I could see the front foot and the back foot, so I was walking 4, and it was the same size stride as me, so it was a pretty good sized bear. So so today when I went out into the woods, I found myself going to that same place where I intersected with the bear tracks and walked along those bear tracks. And there's another opportunity there for me to really sink into the energy of the bear and think, wow, this bear was here before me in the same exact place. And so I followed the bear tracks to a tree that wasn't too far away where the snow had melted totally away from the tree, and I just stood there and listened. I stood there and listened. And I actually like to chant in the woods because no one hears me and I can do it freely. It's another thing you can do in the woods is use your voice in ways that you might not do if someone's watching or listening. So I'm standing by this tree and just listening to the wind. The wind was blowing toward me across my face and coming out of the woods as I was heading into the woods. And so that meant to me that if there's any animals out there, they wouldn't be able to smell me, would they? Because the wind is not going towards them, taking my scent towards them. The wind is coming back from them, bringing my scent out away from any animals. So I'm standing there, and there is still a lot of big snowfields in the woods where you can hear the crunch of the granular snow, you know. And so I'm standing there just being present and being in that with that tree, and I heard this sound off in a distance. It sounded like something was walking in the snow, and it would stop. And so I froze, and my heart started to race, and I froze for a minute, and then I went back to my heart, opened my heart, and relaxed. So that was a check-in point for me to realize that those little automatic things triggered the autonomic nervous system to release those fight or flight hormones that cause your heart to race and everything to constrict and the whole fear mode, fight or flight mode. And I recognize that. I brought myself back to calmness because when that fight or flight response, when that triggered response of fear comes through you and through me, just as the energy field of our heart is nice and donut shaped, that energy of fear, I could feel it echoing out, rippling out into the forest. Because when that happened, the sound stopped. And it wasn't something I could see. And right now the woods are very bare, so there are no leaves out there. So I could see for a long ways into the woods. And I thought, wow, that was curious. Whatever it is that was crunching in the snow is going very slowly, though. I really had a feeling it was a moose because moose walk very deliberately and slow. Though it could have been another animal, and maybe it wasn't even an animal at all. But it was an opportunity for me to just be aware of my heart, going through that racing process. Be aware of the sun and the trees and everything that's out there, and slow down and commune with the earth, be with the earth. And that's what I'm saying, be with the earth. And it can be amazingly therapeutic, amazingly healing for you, especially if you go out there alone and in a safe place that is alone, and just daydream or breathe or sit on a stone or a dead log, or stand by a tree, which is what I was doing, and just notice what you notice, notice what you hear, notice how you feel, notice what you might see or not see. And all that is so healthy for us. It's so healthy to get back to basics, get back to the earth, and she loves it. Mother Earth loves it when we do this. She will reward you with information, intuition, something, if you just go walk on her, walk on the earth's bosom, out in nature. Go out in nature, someplace where everything's wild, where there's no houses or pavement or cars or gravel or anything that looks like man-made stuff. And this can be so tremendously healing for you and for the earth. And this is actually a practice that you can do that can help you with your stress, can help you with any illness or disease or discomfort that's going on in your body. It can help you tremendously. And it may sound like nothing. It may sound like that, why would I do that? Nothing's going to happen. Well, things can happen. Things can happen. In the past, I've been standing there out in that area. As I say, sometimes I chant, I sing songs, I say prayers, I have gratitude out loud. One morning, a couple years ago, I was doing that, and a moose did come out of the woods. A moose came out of the woods. It was a young female. Pardon me. She walked right toward me. She walked right up to me, maybe, 20, 30 feet away. I mean, she stopped. She didn't come right up to me. But as I heard her before she came out of the woods, and I didn't have my glasses on. I need glasses to see from a distance, to drive and stuff. So I didn't really see. I heard her coming out of the woods, but I didn't see who she was. And so, again, that fight or flight comes up and the heart pounding, but I knew it was walking very deliberately and slow. And when I recognized it was a moose, and a young moose, and I opened my heart and I grounded myself into the earth, and I told her I loved her. I told her I cared about her. And I got on a wavelength of that heart energy field that she felt. And it gave her a sense of security and safety so she could come a little closer to me. And she came about 30 feet away, and we just stood there and looked at each other. And again, I just kept telling her, I love you. I love you. Those are the three most important words you can say or think or be with. I love you. Very powerful, very strong. Opens your heart. Let yourself feel, especially if you're feeling it, if you're feeling appreciation, if you're feeling care, especially for the earth will reward you in unseen ways or in seen ways, seen things you can see. So that is another practice you can do. You can go out and walk on the earth. And if you want to take that a step further, what I like to do in the summertime is go out barefoot and walk on the earth and really feel your feet on the earth and commune. Feel your energy really going into the earth and being present with her, with Mother Earth. So, yeah, that's, so let's see. I think I had one more picture of the Earth's energy field that I wanted. No, I guess I'm not going to show you that one right now. Thank you, John, for those pictures, getting those close-ups. Thank you to ManchesterTV.org for this space, this beautiful studio, and the diligent help that they are to me and to all the people that come in here on Community Access TV to express to you our heart's desire. Whatever we talk about here is something that we, as hosts, love and want you to know about. So I'm grateful for ManchesterTV.org for doing that, for being here. And Comcast, I believe, is one of the contributors. So anyway, since I'm in the thanking mode, I'd like to also thank Norm Moody of Norm and Friends for making his show available to me to test out the waters of being on camera and being with him on his show. So thank you, Norm, if you're out there watching. I'm very appreciative of your show, Norm and Friends, which is on Wednesdays from 4 to 6. And also, the biggest thank you I have is for my good friend Dawn Drew. Dawn introduced me to you, Norm, and Dawn has been an inspiration in my life since I've known her for, 2 or 3 years, whatever. And she's just an amazing being that continually inspires me and shows me the way and helps me actually to come out of my shell, which is what I'm doing on the show. I'm coming out of my shell. I'm being seen. I'm expressing to you my heart's longing, which is to understand new earth lifestyles, new ways of living, how to take care of the earth, how to be on the earth in a way that is complementary to the earth and complementary to you. So this has been a great journey. I'm so grateful to be here, and so thank you very much, Dawn Drew. Dawn has her own TV show in Concord, New Hampshire, and it's called Believe It. And you can Google Concord, New Hampshire TV. I'm not really sure the website. It's not concordtv.org, but you can Google Concord, New Hampshire Public Television or Community Access Television to get her channel and to watch that online, because her show repeats itself online quite often. You can just click on the you can click in the website and click on the channel and go right to her current shows or her past shows. Okay, so thank you to Dawn. And thank you to you, this lovely audience, for being here and watching and listening. And this is a call-in show, so anytime that you see me on Thursdays from 2 to 3, you can always call in and talk. Now, last week I did get some calls after the show, after the Monday viewing of the show. My show also airs on Mondays at 5, Saturdays at 10 o'clock in the morning, and Tuesdays at 10 o'clock in the morning. So if you wanted to pass this on to someone that didn't get to watch today, you can rewatch the show at those 3 times: Saturday at 10 a.m., Monday at 5 p.m., and Tuesday at 10 a.m. So I got a call from a viewer, and thank you if you're out there, Bob. He wanted to know about this missing plane and what I thought about this missing plane and the so-called debris that they found. And my take on it is what I'm getting as I don't watch the news, so I'm not really bombarded with all the different theories. I did see a particular YouTube thing, though, that was very fascinating and drew me in, and this is what I believe happened, is that this plane was hijacked in the air, and it piggybacked another 777 Boeing that was flying across the Indian Ocean so that it could stay out of radar, because it was the same footprint as a 777, so it stayed with this other one, and the time frame and the coordinates were all right in line with this so-called theory. But this is my take on it, is that that's what happened, and that it when it got out of range of Pakistan and India's radar, it landed somewhere in Kazakhstan or one of those countries. I believe that the debris that is being found is a cover-up, because they can't find it. So that's my take on it. So thank you for being with me today. And I do have a guest on my show next week, and that guest is Lisa Ouellette of Greater Manchester Holistic Meetup Group. Thank you, Lisa. She's going to be on the show next week, and she is my sponsor to be here. So tune in next Thursday for Lisa Ouellette, who is a psychic reader. Until then, have a great week, and remember to breathe.